Welcome, dear friends, to this sacred time. As darkness embraces the world around us, we gather in the quiet sanctuary of prayer. I'm here with you tonight, and we embark on a spiritual journey together, a pilgrimage through the power of night prayer. In this bustling world that never seems to rest, the night offers us something precious: stillness, a chance to surrender the day's burdens, to seek divine peace, and to connect with the eternal presence that surrounds us always. Find yourself in a comfortable position. Perhaps dim the lights, light a candle if you wish. Let your breathing slow and deepen. We have time together, time to pray, to reflect, and to be renewed. The ancient psalmist wrote, "Into your hands I commit my spirit." As we begin our time of prayer, let us first practice the sacred art of surrender, releasing the day that has passed into divine hands. Divine Creator, as this day draws to its close, I come before you with gratitude and trust. I release into your loving care all the moments that have passed, the victories I celebrate, the mistakes I acknowledge, the worries I carried, and the love I shared. Help me to see your presence in every hour that has unfolded. Where I succeeded, let me remember it was through your strength. Where I fell short, let me find your grace sufficient. Where I worried, remind me that you hold tomorrow in your hands. There's something profound that happens when we consciously hand over our day to the divine. It's like setting down a heavy backpack after a long journey. Feel that weight lifting from your shoulders now. Consider the Hebrew word shalom. It means not just peace, but wholeness, completeness. As we surrender this day, we open ourselves to receive this divine wholeness. God of all comfort, quiet the restless thoughts within my mind. Still the anxious beating of my heart. Let your peace, which surpasses all understanding, guard my thoughts and my heart through this night. Breathe into me your tranquility. Let it flow through every fiber of my being, washing away tension, worry, and fear. Fill me with your serene presence. In the silence of this moment, I acknowledge that my soul thirsts for you, O God, like a deer pants for streams of water. You are my refuge and my strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Let me rest now in your protective embrace. Shield me from the anxieties that would rob me of peace. Guard my heart from the whispers of fear and doubt. Surround me with your angels of comfort and hope. As I breathe in your presence, I exhale all that does not belong to this sacred moment. I release the harsh words spoken to me today, the disappointments that weighed heavy on my heart, the pressures that made my shoulders tense. With each breath, I draw closer to your heart of love. With each exhalation, I let go of what I cannot control. The mystic Meister Eckhart once said, "If the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough." Let us now cultivate hearts overflowing with gratitude. Gracious Provider, my heart overflows with thanksgiving for this day's countless gifts, for the breath that sustained me, the food that nourished me, the people who blessed me with their presence. I thank you for the morning light that awakened me, for the afternoon's energy that carried me forward, and now for this evening's peace that enfolds me, for challenges that strengthened me, for joys that delighted me, for ordinary moments that held extraordinary grace. Thank you for the gift of sight that allowed me to witness today's beauty, the play of light and shadow, the expressions on loved ones' faces, the colors that painted the sky. Thank you for the blessing of hearing, the laughter of children, the melody of music, the whispered words of love. I am grateful for the sense of touch that connected me to this physical world, the warmth of sunshine on my skin, the comfort of an embrace, the texture of fabric, the coolness of water. Thank you for taste and smell that brought pleasure to simple moments, the aroma of morning coffee, the sweetness of fruit, the fragrance of flowers. As we offer our thanks, let's expand our awareness to the miraculous nature of existence itself. Right now, your heart beats without your conscious effort. Your lungs draw in life-giving air. Stars burn in distant galaxies, and somewhere, spring flowers are blooming in moonlight. Creator of all that is seen and unseen, I stand in awe of your magnificent creation. From the vastness of the cosmos to the intricate design of a single leaf, your handiwork surrounds me. Thank you for eyes that can witness beauty, for ears that can hear music and laughter, for a heart that can feel love and compassion. Thank you for the gift of consciousness itself, this miracle of being aware, of being alive. Even in darkness, help me to perceive your light. Even in silence, help me to hear your voice. Even in solitude, help me to feel your presence. I am grateful for the challenges that have shaped me, for they have taught me resilience. For the sorrows that have deepened my compassion, for they have opened my heart to understand others' pain. For the losses that have taught me what truly matters, for they have clarified my priorities. Thank you for second chances and new beginnings, for forgiveness that washes clean the slate of yesterday's mistakes, for hope that rises like dawn after the darkest night, for love that conquers fear, heals wounds, and bridges every divide. I give thanks for the unseen helpers in my life, guardian angels who protect, departed loved ones who continue to inspire, strangers whose kindness brightened my path, for teachers who opened my mind, mentors who guided my steps, friends who walked beside me through joy and sorrow. Thank you for the gift of this very moment, pregnant with possibility, filled with your presence, sacred beyond measure. Help me never to take for granted the precious gift of being alive in this beautiful, complex, miraculous world you have created. In gratitude, I acknowledge that every good gift comes from above. Every moment of joy, every experience of love, every glimpse of truth and beauty flows from your generous heart. May my life be a living prayer of thanksgiving. Night is nature's time for healing and renewal. Our bodies repair themselves as we sleep. Our minds process the day's experiences, and our spirits, too, can find healing in the gentle darkness. If you carry pain tonight, physical, emotional, or spiritual, know that you're not alone. The divine healer draws near to those who call upon that holy name. Loving God, you are the source of all healing and wholeness. I come to you tonight carrying wounds that need your touch. Some are visible to the world, others hidden deep within my heart. Place your healing hands upon every area of brokenness in my life. Mend what is torn, soothe what is inflamed, restore what has been damaged. Let your healing light penetrate every cell, every memory, every relationship that needs renewal. I pray for healing of old wounds that still ache within my soul, childhood hurts that shaped my fears, betrayals that closed my heart, losses that left me feeling empty. Touch these tender places with your gentle love. Heal the parts of me that struggle to trust, that find it hard to hope, that have forgotten how to dream. Restore my capacity for joy, my ability to be vulnerable, my willingness to love without reservation. For those I love who are suffering, I lift them up to you now. Surround them with your comfort. Give them strength for their journey. Let them feel your presence in their darkest hours. I pray specifically for those battling illness, wrestling with depression, facing financial hardship, grieving the loss of loved ones. May your healing power flow through them like a river of life, bringing restoration and peace. Heal our broken world, O God. Touch the places where hatred divides, where injustice wounds, where poverty crushes spirits. Send your healing to war-torn nations, to communities ravaged by violence, to families torn apart by addiction or abuse. Heal the earth itself, O God, the polluted waters, the poisoned air, the damaged ecosystems. Help us to be instruments of healing in our world, channels of your restorative love. Sometimes the deepest healing comes not through the removal of our struggles, but through the strength to endure them with grace. Grant such strength to all who suffer, that their pain might become a source of compassion for others. I pray for healing that goes beyond the physical, reaching into the depths of memory and emotion. Heal the wounds of rejection that make it hard to believe in love. Heal the scars of abandonment that create fear of intimacy. Heal the broken places where shame has taken root, whispering lies about worthlessness and failure. Let your truth speak louder than these voices of condemnation, proclaiming that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. For those whose bodies carry chronic pain or illness, grant them courage for each day's challenges. Help them to find meaning and purpose even within limitations. Surround them with compassionate caregivers and understanding friends. I pray for mental and emotional healing, for minds plagued by anxiety, hearts burdened by depression, spirits crushed by trauma. Send your healing light into the darkest corners of human experience, bringing hope where despair has reigned. Sometimes our deepest wounds are not physical, but spiritual. Feelings of guilt, shame, unworthiness. The beautiful truth is that divine love is stronger than our failures. Merciful God, I acknowledge the ways I have fallen short today, this week, this year. I have spoken words that hurt, harbored thoughts that were unloving, made choices that caused harm to myself or others. I receive your forgiveness now, letting it wash over me like warm, cleansing water. Help me to forgive myself as you have forgiven me, and grant me the strength to forgive those who have wounded me. Release me from the prison of guilt and resentment. Make me an instrument of your peace, a vessel of your love, a reflection of your grace. I confess my impatience with those who move more slowly than I prefer, my irritation with circumstances beyond anyone's control, my tendency to judge others without understanding their struggles or walking in their shoes. Forgive me for the times I've been too busy to notice someone's need for kindness, for the moments I've chosen convenience over compassion, efficiency over empathy, for the opportunities to love that I've missed because I was focused on my own concerns. I acknowledge the ways I've been harsh with myself, setting impossible standards and then condemning myself for failing to meet them. Help me to extend to myself the same grace I would offer a dear friend. Forgive me for the times I've doubted your goodness when circumstances were difficult, for the moments I've allowed fear to overshadow faith, worry to eclipse wonder, for the days I've forgotten that your love is constant, regardless of my circumstances. I ask forgiveness for holding grudges, nursing old hurts, replaying conversations that left me feeling wounded or misunderstood. Help me to release these burdens that serve no good purpose and only weigh down my spirit. Cleanse me from pride that prevents me from asking for help when I need it, from stubbornness that keeps me from admitting when I'm wrong, from selfishness that puts my wants before others' needs. Wash away the residue of past mistakes that still clings to my conscience. Let me walk forward in the freedom of your forgiveness, no longer defined by my failures, but by your redemptive love. I choose to forgive those who have hurt me, knowing that forgiveness is not condoning their actions, but freeing my own heart from bitterness. Give me the grace to see them through your eyes of compassion. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Let me be quick to apologize when I've caused harm, slow to take offense when others stumble, generous in extending the grace I've so freely received. Forgive me for the times I've been envious of others' blessings instead of celebrating their good fortune, for moments when I've compared my struggles to others' apparent ease, forgetting that everyone faces unseen battles. I confess the ways I've wasted time on trivial pursuits, while neglecting what truly matters. Help me to use my remaining days more wisely, investing in relationships and pursuits that have eternal value. Cleanse me
from the subtle pride that seeks recognition for good deeds, that craves credit for acts of service. Let me serve with pure motives, finding joy in giving, without need for acknowledgement or reward.
At the heart of all authentic prayer is love, divine love flowing through us, human love reaching toward the divine, and the love we share with one another. Let us open our hearts wide tonight. God of infinite love, fill my heart to overflowing with your divine compassion. Let your love be the lens through which I see every person I encounter. Help me to love as you love, unconditionally, completely, eternally. Expand my capacity for love beyond what I thought possible. Teach me to love my enemies, to embrace the outcast, to see your face in every person who crosses my path. Love is not merely an emotion, but a choice, a commitment, a way of being in the world. Help me to choose love even when it's difficult, even when I don't feel loving, even when love is not returned. Show me how to love with wisdom, setting healthy boundaries while keeping my heart open. Teach me to love without enabling, to care without controlling, to give without depleting myself. I pray for the ability to love myself as you love me, not with narcissistic self-absorption, but with healthy self-respect and compassion. Help me to care for my body, mind, and spirit as temples of your presence. Fill me with love for the natural world, for forests and oceans, mountains and meadows, creatures great and small. Let me be a protector and steward of the beauty you've entrusted to our care. Grant me a heart that loves justice and seeks mercy, that stands with the oppressed and speaks for the voiceless. May your love compel me to work for a world where all people can flourish. I pray for the grace to love those who are difficult to love, the abrasive colleague, the demanding neighbor, the family member whose words often wound. Help me to see past their behavior to the hurt or fear that drives it. Teach me to love with patience, not expecting others to change on my timeline. Help me to love with kindness, choosing gentle words even when firm boundaries are needed. Fill me with compassionate love for those whose choices I cannot understand or approve. Help me to separate the person from their actions, loving the individual while not condoning harmful behavior. I pray for those who feel unloved and unlovable tonight. May they encounter your love through human vessels, a kind word, a listening ear, an unexpected act of generosity. Use me as such a vessel when opportunities arise. For marriages strained by conflict or cooled by indifference, rekindle the love that first brought couples together. For families divided by misunderstanding, restore the bonds of affection that transcend disagreement. I lift up parents struggling to love children who seem to reject their care. Grant them patience and wisdom, helping them to love consistently even when love is not reciprocated. True prayer transforms us into more loving beings. As we receive divine love, we become conduits of that love to the world.
Let us pray now for all those who need love's healing touch.
Compassionate Creator, I lift up to you all who are suffering tonight, those who are alone, afraid, grieving, sick, or lost. May they feel the warmth of your embrace. I pray for world leaders, that wisdom and compassion guide their decisions, for teachers and healers, that they be strengthened in their noble work, for children everywhere, that they know safety, love, and hope. I pray specifically for refugees fleeing violence and persecution. May they find safe haven, welcoming communities, and the opportunity to rebuild their lives in peace. Comfort mothers and fathers who worry for their children's safety. I lift up those struggling with mental illness, depression that steals joy, anxiety that robs peace, addictions that promise relief but deliver bondage. Surround them with understanding, effective treatment, and communities of support. For the elderly who feel forgotten, may they know their wisdom is valued, their stories matter, their lives have meaning. For caregivers who tend to them, grant patience, strength, and recognition for their sacrificial love. For those facing unemployment, underemployment, or financial hardship, open doors of opportunity, provide for their daily needs, and help them maintain dignity and hope during difficult seasons. For marriages that are struggling, may couples rediscover what drew them together. For families divided by conflict, may reconciliation and understanding prevail. For single parents carrying heavy loads, provide support and encouragement. I pray for the earth itself, this precious blue planet that sustains all life. Help us to be better stewards of your creation, to protect and cherish this sacred home we share. For all creatures, great and small, may they find refuge and peace. For plants and trees, oceans and mountains, may they flourish under your care. I pray for those in positions of authority, government officials, judges, police officers, military personnel. Grant them wisdom to lead with justice, courage to do what is right, and hearts that seek the common good. For scientists and researchers working to solve humanity's greatest challenges, inspire breakthrough discoveries. For artists and writers expressing truth and beauty, may their work touch hearts and open minds. I pray for those who are persecuted for their faith, their ethnicity, their beliefs. Grant them courage to stand firm, communities to support them, and eventual freedom from oppression. For prisoners who have lost their freedom, may they find inner peace and the possibility of redemption. For victims of crime, grant healing and the strength to rebuild their lives. I lift up those battling life-threatening illnesses. Give them hope in treatment, comfort in pain, and peace in uncertainty. Surround them with skilled medical care and loving support. For those struggling with addiction, provide pathways to recovery and communities of accountability. Help them to find their worth beyond their struggles and hope beyond their failures. As we send love into the world through our prayers, remember that we are part of an invisible network of souls doing the same thing at this very moment. Across time zones and continents,
hearts are lifting up in prayer. You are connected to this beautiful communion of spirits.
One of prayer's greatest gifts is teaching us to trust, to release our need to control outcomes and rest in divine providence. This is perhaps prayer's most challenging invitation, and its most liberating. God of all wisdom, I confess that I often try to carry burdens that were never meant for my shoulders. Tonight, I practice the sacred art of letting go. I trust you with my future, knowing that your plans for me are good. I trust you with my loved ones, knowing that your love for them exceeds even my own. I trust you with my dreams and desires, knowing that you work all things together for good. When I cannot see the path ahead, I will trust in your guidance. When circumstances seem overwhelming, I will trust in your strength. When my faith wavers, I will trust in your faithfulness. Trust is not passive resignation, but active faith. It's continuing to plant seeds even when we cannot see the harvest. It's taking the next right step even when we cannot see the destination. It's believing in your goodness even when circumstances suggest otherwise. I release my anxiety about tomorrow's challenges. Whatever comes, you will provide what I need. You have been faithful in the past, you are faithful in the present, and you will be faithful in the future. Help me to trust your timing. When prayers seem unanswered, when progress feels slow, when change doesn't come as quickly as I'd like, remind me that you see the bigger picture. Your timing is perfect. I surrender my need to understand everything. Some mysteries are too deep for human comprehension. Some questions will remain unanswered this side of eternity. Grant me peace with not knowing, confidence in your character despite uncertainty about your methods. I trust you with my health, knowing that whether I experience healing or learn to live with limitations, you will give me grace sufficient for each day. My life is in your hands, and your hands are good. I place in your care my financial concerns. You know my needs before I ask. You have promised to provide for your children. Help me to be wise with what I have and generous with what I can share. I trust you with my relationships, those that bring joy and those that cause difficulty. You can work in every situation to bring about growth, understanding, or necessary change. Guide my words and actions in all my interactions. I release my worries about world events beyond my control. Wars and rumors of wars, natural disasters, political upheaval, these have always been part of human experience. You remain sovereign over all. Help me to trust that even when evil seems to triumph temporarily, your justice will ultimately prevail. That even when good people suffer, their pain is not meaningless, but can become a source of compassion for others. I surrender my reputation and how others perceive me. Whether they think well or poorly of me, let my identity be rooted in your opinion alone. You call me beloved, chosen, precious. That is enough. Teach me to trust in your mercy when I fail, your guidance when I'm confused, your strength
when I'm weak. You are the same yesterday, today, and forever, unchanging in your love and faithfulness.
The mystics speak of a state called holy abandonment, complete surrender to divine will. It's not passive resignation, but active trust. It's saying, not my will, but yours be done, and meaning it from the depths of our being. Loving God, I surrender to you all my anxieties about tomorrow, my worries about loved ones, my fears about the future, my desire to control outcomes beyond my influence. I place in your hands every relationship, every responsibility, every hope and concern. Do with my life what you will. Use me as your instrument. Guide my steps according to your wisdom. Help me to hold my plans lightly, to remain open to your unexpected invitations. Give me the courage to say yes to your calling, even when it leads me beyond my comfort zone. I trust that you are weaving all the threads of my life into a beautiful tapestry, even when I can only see small pieces of the pattern. Your timing is perfect. Your love never fails. Sometimes surrender means accepting what we cannot change with grace. Sometimes it means courageously acting on what we can influence. Grant me wisdom to know the difference. I surrender my achievements and failures into your keeping. Neither success nor setbacks define my worth. My value comes from being your child, created in your image, loved beyond measure. I entrust to you my deepest longings for meaningful work, authentic relationships, spiritual growth, opportunities to serve. You have placed these desires in my heart, and I trust you to fulfill them in ways that bring glory to your name. In this surrender, I find not loss, but freedom, not emptiness, but fullness, not defeat, but victory. For in losing my life in you, I find my truest self. I surrender my need for certainty in an uncertain world. Help me to be comfortable with questions, at peace with mystery, trusting in your goodness even when I cannot understand your ways. I release my timeline to your eternal perspective. What seems urgent to me may not be urgent to you. What appears impossible to me is well within your power. Align my heart with your priorities. I surrender my desire to be understood by everyone. Some will misinterpret my motives, misunderstand my actions, misjudge my character. You see my heart truly, and that is sufficient. Help me to surrender my need to fix or rescue others. I can offer love, support, and prayer, but I cannot force healing or growth. That work belongs to you and to them. I place in your hands my dreams that seem delayed or denied. Perhaps they were not meant to be, or perhaps their time has not yet come. I trust your wisdom to know what is best. As night deepens around us, we enter into the sacred rhythm of rest and renewal. Sleep is a form of trust. We close our eyes and surrender consciousness, believing we will wake refreshed and restored. Creator of day and night, you have ordained seasons of activity and rest. You yourself rested on the seventh day, not from weariness, but to establish a pattern for for your creation. In our achievement-oriented culture, rest can feel like laziness, sleep like wasted time. But you have made us creatures who require restoration. Our bodies need healing sleep. Our minds need peaceful pause. Our spirits need Sabbath stillness. As I prepare for sleep tonight, I release the day's unfinished tasks. Tomorrow will bring its own opportunities. Tonight is for rest, for dreams, for the mysterious work you do in us while we sleep. I pray for peaceful sleep, free from nightmares and anxiety. Let my dreams be sweet, my rest profound, my awakening gentle. Guard my sleep from the enemy's torment. Surround my bed with your protecting angels. For those who struggle with insomnia, grant them the rest they need. For those who work night shifts caring for others, strengthen them for their noble service. For new parents awakened by crying infants, give them patience and energy. I commit into your hands all who will not sleep well tonight, those kept awake by physical pain, emotional turmoil, or mental anguish. Be their comfort in dark hours, their peace in restless moments. May my sleep not be merely restoration, but communion with you. Visit me in dreams, if you will. Speak to my spirit while my mind rests. Continue your work of transformation while I am unconscious. Let me wake tomorrow with a heart ready to serve, eyes eager to see your presence, ears attuned to your voice. May sleep not be escape from life, but preparation for more abundant living. In many faith traditions, the hours between midnight and dawn are considered especially sacred, times when the veil between earth and heaven grows thin, when prayers have particular power, when divine presence is more easily sensed. Whether you sleep through these hours or find yourself awake in sacred darkness, know that you are held in love. The God who neither slumbers nor sleeps watches over you with tender care. If anxiety wakes you in the night, remember that you are not alone. The same God who counts the stars knows the number of your sleepless thoughts. Turn worry into prayer, fear into faith, restlessness into rest in divine love. Night watchmen of the soul, nurses and security guards, parents with sick children, caregivers tending the elderly, your vigil is holy service. You participate in God's watchful care over creation. For those who fear the dark, remember that darkness cannot overcome light. The light of divine love shines brightest in deepest darkness. You carry that light within you wherever you go. In this quiet hour, I embrace the gift of solitude. So much of life is spent with others, filling time with noise and activity, but the soul needs silence to hear the still small voice of God. In the silence of this sacred hour, I listen for your voice, O God. Not necessarily audible words, but the gentle impressions you place upon my heart, the sudden insights that illuminate my path, the peace that confirms your presence. Teach me to be comfortable with silence. In a world of constant noise and distraction, help me to find sanctuary in quietness. Let silence be not emptiness, but fullness, pregnant with possibility, rich with your presence. I offer you not only my words, but my wordless longings, my inarticulate hopes, my deepest desires that I cannot fully express. You understand the language of the heart that transcends human speech. In this solitude, I examine my life with gentle honesty. What patterns serve me well? What habits drain my spirit? What relationships bring out my best self? What activities align with my deepest values? Show me where I need to make changes, not from self-criticism, but from self-love. Help me to see myself as you see me, a beloved child with infinite potential for growth and goodness. I reflect on the gifts you've given me, talents, opportunities, experiences that have shaped me. How can I use these gifts more fully in service to others? How can my unique combination of abilities contribute to the world's healing? Grant me wisdom to recognize the doors you're opening and the courage to walk through them. Help me to discern which opportunities are from you and which are merely distractions from my true calling. In this quiet reflection, I also acknowledge my need for others. I was not created to live in isolation, but in community. Thank you for the people who love me, challenge me, support me, and walk beside me on this journey. I pray for deeper, more authentic relationships. Help me to be vulnerable when appropriate, boundaried when necessary. Teach me to love without trying to fix or control others, to receive love without feeling unworthy. For relationships that need healing, I ask for wisdom and grace. Show me when to speak and when to listen, when to act and when to wait. Help me to own my part in conflicts without taking responsibility for others' choices. As night deepens, I contemplate the mystery of existence itself. Why is there something rather than nothing? What does it mean to be conscious in an apparently unconscious universe? How do I fit in to the vast story of creation? These questions humble me, remind me how little I truly understand. Yet I am not troubled by mystery, but awed by it. To be human is to live with questions larger than answers, to find wonder in what cannot be fully comprehended. I am dust of stars, formed from elements forged in the hearts of ancient suns. I am breath of God, animated by divine spirit. I am both infinitely small in cosmic terms and infinitely precious in your eyes. Help me to live with appropriate humility, aware of my limitations, while still confident in your calling on my life. Neither grandiose in self-importance, nor diminished in self-worth, but rightly sized in relation to you and your creation. In this vast universe, I am unique. Never before has there been anyone exactly like me. Never again will there be someone with my precise combination of gifts, experiences, and perspectives. This is both privilege and responsibility.
As I contemplate the cosmos, I am awed by its vastness and complexity. Billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars, stretching across distances so vast they challenge human comprehension. Yet in all this immensity, you know each star by name and have counted every grain of sand on every shore. If the universe declares your glory, what does it say about your nature? That you are unlimited in power, infinite in creativity, boundless in love. That you work on scales both cosmic and intimate, caring for galaxies and sparrows with equal attention. I am humbled to be part of this grand creation, a conscious being capable of contemplating its own existence and the existence of its creator. What a gift to be able to look up at the night sky and wonder, to peer into a microscope and marvel, to ponder meaning and purpose. In this vast universe, Earth is like a tiny blue jewel, perfectly positioned to support the miracle of life. On this precious planet, countless species have evolved in intricate interdependence. What wisdom designed this delicate balance? What love sustains it moment by moment? I pray for a deeper sense of kinship with all creation. Help me to see the sacred in the natural world, in forests and rivers, in creatures wild and tame, in the very air I breathe and ground I walk upon. Forgive humanity's carelessness with creation, our pollution of waters, our destruction of habitats, our treatment of animals as mere commodities rather than fellow creatures. Show us how to live in harmony with the earth that sustains us. May I tread lightly on the earth, consume thoughtfully, choose sustainability over convenience when possible. Help me to see environmental care not as political issue, but as spiritual responsibility. I think of indigenous peoples who have understood this connection for millennia, who speak of Mother Earth and Father Sky not as metaphors, but as lived reality. What can we learn from their wisdom about living in respectful relationship with creation? As dawn approaches in some part of the world, birds begin their morning songs, flowers open to greet the sun, and the eternal cycles of nature continue their ancient rhythms. I am part of these rhythms, sleeping and waking, breathing and heartbeat, seasons of growth and rest. Help me to live in harmony with natural rhythms rather than fighting against them, to rest when my body needs rest, to be active when energy flows, to trust the seasons of my own life as I trust the seasons of the year. In winter seasons of the soul, when life feels dormant and colorless, remind me that beneath the surface, important work is happening. Seeds of new growth are germinating in darkness, preparing for spring's eventual return. In summer seasons of abundance and energy, help me to make the most of opportunities while remembering that intensity cannot last forever. Teach me to store up joy and strength for leaner times ahead. I reflect on the water cycle that sustains all life: evaporation and condensation, rainfall and rivers returning to the sea. Nothing is truly lost, only transformed, continuously recycled in an eternal dance of renewal. Is this not an image of spiritual life as well? My prayers rise like vapor to heaven, condensing into blessings that fall like rain on thirsty souls, flowing through human hearts back to the ocean of divine love. every act of kindness, every gesture of compassion, every word of encouragement becomes part of this circulation of grace. I am both recipient and channel, blessed to bless others in an endless flow of love.
As we enter this final hour of our sacred journey through the night, I feel a deep sense of completion and new beginning. Like a labyrinth that leads to the center and then back out into the world, this time of prayer has brought me to a place of inner stillness from which I can emerge renewed. In these closing moments, I gather up all that has been stirred in my heart during these hours of prayer. The gratitude expressed, the healing requested, the love shared, the trust deepened. None of these prayers is wasted. All have been heard and received by the one who loves us beyond measure. I think of this night's prayer journey as a pilgrimage of the heart. Like medieval pilgrims who traveled to sacred shrines, I have journeyed inward to the shrine of divine presence within my own soul. There, I have encountered the Holy One who dwells not only in distant heavens, but in the temple of the human heart. This inner sanctuary is always available, always accessible. I need not travel to distant places or wait for special occasions to enter this sacred space. In any moment, with any breath, I can turn my attention inward and find the presence of the divine waiting to commune with me. As I prepare to conclude this extended time of prayer, I commit to carrying its fruits into my daily life. The peace I have found here must not remain hidden in private prayer, but must overflow into my interactions with others. May the forgiveness I have received enable me to forgive others more freely. May the healing I have experienced flow through me to bring wholeness to wounded souls. May the love that has surrounded me radiate from me to warm hearts that are cold with despair. I pray that this night's prayer will change me, not just comfort me, that I will be more patient tomorrow because of the patience shown to me tonight, more generous because of the abundance I have been reminded I possess, more trusting because of the faithfulness I have experienced. Let this time of prayer be like a stone thrown into still water, creating ripples that spread far beyond what I can see. May the effects of these holy hours touch lives I will never know, in ways I cannot imagine, for purposes that serve your kingdom of love. I offer thanks for the gift of this extended time with you. In our busy world, such unhurried communion with the divine is rare and precious. Thank you for the luxury of lingering in your presence, for the joy of unrushed prayer. Help me to remember that I don't always need hours to connect with you meaningfully. Sometimes a single breath offered consciously, a moment of gratitude acknowledged, a brief prayer whispered in difficulty can open the same door to divine presence. Yet I also recognize the value of extended prayer times like this. Just as deep friendships require occasional long conversations, not just quick exchanges, my relationship with you benefits from these seasons of unhurried communion.
I pray for wisdom to balance the demands of active life with the needs of contemplative prayer. Help me to create regular rhythms that nourish my soul while still engaging fully with the world's needs. May I live with one foot in heaven and one foot on earth, grounded in divine love, yet active in human service, rooted in eternal truth, yet responsive to temporal needs, centered in spiritual peace, yet engaged with worldly concerns. As dawn approaches somewhere in the world, I think of new beginnings, fresh starts, second chances. Every sunrise is a reminder that your mercies are new every morning, that grace is available for each day's challenges. Tomorrow will bring its own opportunities to live out what I have received tonight. Chances to be kind when I am tempted toward harshness, to trust when I am inclined to worry, to hope when circumstances suggest despair. I cannot know what specific situations await me, but I can face them with confidence that you will provide whatever grace is needed. The same presence that has sustained me through this night of prayer will be with me in tomorrow's daylight hours. As we conclude this sacred journey, may the God who created the stars watch over our sleep. May divine angels guard our rest and fill our dreams with peace. May we wake refreshed in body, renewed in spirit, and ready to serve love in the world. Into your hands, O God, we commit our spirits, our loved ones, and this sleeping world. Keep us safe through the night watches, and bring us safely to the dawn. Amen and amen.